When the women returned home earlier than usual, their father, Reuel, also called Jethro, asked, "Why are you back so soon today?" They answered, "An Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds. He even drew water for us and watered the flock." Jethro said, "Where is he? Why did you leave him there? Go and invite him to eat with us." So Moses came to their home. Jethro welcomed him kindly, and soon Moses decided to stay in Midian. Jethro gave him one of his daughters, Zipporah, to be his wife. In time they had a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, "I have been a stranger in a foreign land." Many years passed. Back in Egypt, the Pharaoh who wanted to kill Moses had died, but the Israelites were still suffering terribly as slaves. They cried out to God for help, and God heard their cries. One day, as Moses was tending his father-in-law's sheep near Mount Horeb, something strange caught his eye. There, in the distance, he saw a bush burning with fire, but the bush was not burning up. Curious, Moses walked closer to see this wonder. Then suddenly, a voice called out from the flames, "Moses, Moses." Startled, Moses replied, "Here I am." "Do not come any closer," said the voice. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." Moses trembled. The voice continued, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." At this, Moses hid his face, afraid to look at God. The Lord said, "I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries. I am sending you, Moses, to Pharaoh, to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Moses was stunned. "Who am I to go to Pharaoh?" he asked. God said gently, "I will be with you." But Moses still feared. "Suppose they ask me, 'What is his name?' What shall I say?" God answered, "I am who I am. Tell them, 'I am has sent me to you.'" Even then Moses hesitated. "Lord, I am not a good speaker," he said. "My words come slowly." But God said, "Who made man's mouth? Go, and I will help you speak." Finally, God told Moses that his brother Aaron would go with him to speak for him. So Moses took his staff, kissed his wife and children goodbye, and began the journey back to Egypt, carrying God's message of freedom. When Moses returned to Egypt, his heart was full of both fear and faith. Just as God promised, his brother Aaron came out to meet him. The two brothers hugged and rejoiced, then went together to gather the elders of Israel. Aaron spoke the words God had given to Moses, and Moses showed them the signs, his staff turning into a snake, and his hand turning white and then healed again. When the people saw these miracles, they believed that God had heard their cries, and they bowed down in worship. Then Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh's palace. Standing before the great ruler of Egypt, they spoke with courage. "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says, 'Let my people go, so that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness.'" Pharaoh's face grew hard. "Who is the Lord that I should obey him?" he said proudly. "I do not know this Lord, and I will not let Israel go." Instead of freeing them, Pharaoh made their work even harder. He commanded the overseers, "Do not give the people any more straw for making bricks. Let them gather straw themselves, but still make them produce the same number of bricks." The Israelites were crushed and blamed Moses, saying, "You have made our lives worse." Moses cried out to God, "Lord, why have you sent me? The people are suffering even more." But God answered, "Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. With my mighty hand, he will let my people go." Pharaoh had refused to let the Israelites go, and so the Lord showed his power through mighty acts that shook all of Egypt. First, Moses struck the Nile with his staff, and the river turned to blood. The fish died, and the water smelled so bad that no one could drink it. Yet Pharaoh's heart remained hard. Then frogs covered the land, in homes, beds, and even ovens. Pharaoh begged Moses to ask God to remove them, but once the frogs were gone, he broke his promise again. Next, the dust of the ground turned into swarms of gnats that filled the air and covered every person and animal. Even Pharaoh's magicians said, "This is the finger of God." Still, Pharaoh would not listen. Then came swarms of flies that filled Egypt. But not a single fly entered the land of Goshen, where the Israelites lived. After that, a terrible disease struck Egypt's livestock, and all their animals died, while Israel's animals stayed healthy. Then painful boils appeared on the skin of every Egyptian and their animals, and they cried out in pain. But God's power was not finished. A great storm came, thunder, lightning, and hail mixed with fire, striking down crops, trees, and anything left in the fields. When Pharaoh still refused, God sent locusts that swarmed across Egypt and ate every green plant that remained. Then came a deep, heavy darkness that covered Egypt for 3 days. No one could see or move, but the Israelites had light in their homes. Each time Pharaoh promised, "I will let your people go," but when the plague ended, his heart hardened again. He would not obey God, and Egypt waited for the final judgment to come. At last God told Moses, "I will send one more plague and then Pharaoh will let you go." That night, every firstborn son in Egypt would die, from Pharaoh's palace to the poorest home, except those who obeyed God's command. The Israelites were told to take a perfect lamb, kill it, and put its blood on the doorposts of their homes. They were to roast the lamb and eat it quickly, with their sandals on and staffs in their hands, ready to leave. At midnight the Lord passed through Egypt. There was a loud cry in the land, for every Egyptian household had lost someone. But the homes marked with lamb's blood were safe. The Lord passed over them. This became known as Passover, a reminder forever of how God saved his people. That same night, Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, "Get up, leave my people. Go and worship your God." The Israelites hurried out, carrying gold, silver, and clothes given to them by the Egyptians. After 430 years in Egypt, they were finally free.